Welcome to our episode 24/7 Laredo, the Laredo Border Chronicles. Hi, I'm Suster Gatsa, your host. 24/7 Laredo News is an original free and independent news site that offers original content, brings together information from other sites, and talk about issues that affects the Laredo community. We do keep up with the latest information all the time. So during this process, we were out for about a year and a half. But goodness, we came back after the pandemic. We're still here. And so we decided to pick up the new Laredo Border Chronicles to continue talking about the issues affecting Laredo. And that's how our new guest is here. Our new guest, of course, is Gunny Gonzalez, who's actually running the Gunny's boot camp. So if you want to exercise and you really want to lose some weight, go give him a call. I'm sure he can set you up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Well, thank you for making it. You're running for mayor.
Correct.
Last time I talked to you at another event with Paul Vitron, and you were telling me you were thinking of running for mayor at that time.
Correct.
So why did you decide to run?
I want to see some change. I think I'm open to the idea right now that there's a lot of stuff that's happening within the administration here in the city. And I think a lot of people just feel that they need some change. They need some new blood, new ideas, new strategies. And I figured, well, why not? Why not give it a shot,
Yes.
Como dicen, if you don't take the shot, it's a shot missed. It's a shot you didn't take. So why
Well,
not?
I mean, obviously, we've had about 8 city managers in the last 8 years.
Correct.
We've had at least 6 attorneys who have quit as city attorneys. There's definitely a lot of turmoil. So certainly we need some type of a good mayor attorney to help. Do you think you have, obviously, with the type of business that you're in, do you think you have the right leadership to be able to put something together and bring consensus?
Correct. I really think I do. I've been in the Marine Corps for 19 years. I'm still serving. As a matter of fact, I just did a re-enlistment. It's through the reserves. I'm a Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant. I have, run company units of Marines, and of course, the development of leadership has happened throughout these years. And so I think I'm well versed when it comes to ideology and strategies and whatnot. And that's the same thing that's how I run a business as well.
I think that whoever runs for mayor and we select, it has to be someone who has leadership qualities. We cannot have this type of que sí, que no.
Correct.
We can, and we need to have someone who can bring people together. And I think you need a business person.
Yes.
I need someone who has some business sense, because cuando te cuesta dinero, when it costs you money, is when you're going to be a little bit more serious about the taxpayer money.
Correct.
And a lot of businesses lost a lot of clients during the pandemic. A lot of them closed down. I know, because I saw a lot of that. And so certainly you were able to survive during that. How did you do that?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest philosophies, and this is something that I picked up in the service. You just have to adapt, improvise, overcome. You have to be very adaptable. What happened when everything shut down? We transitioned from in person to online, and then once we were able to go back in person, we still kept both systems in place.
So you actually went online for your business.
Correct.
Incredible.
Yep, we had to adapt right away. I mean, it was sink or swim.
Yeah, right.
And so the only way we could survive was thinking, hey, let's get out of the box, and how do we take the gym from in person to online? We came up with Zoom. And that's how we started doing that, and it's been on for like the last 2.5 years. I was already thinking about getting rid of it.
What was the response?
It was good. People were working from home, working out from home. They felt comfortable. They didn't have to travel anymore. They didn't have to do too much stuff. I think at some point I was even literally training people from all over the world.
My goodness.
So it was good.
That's
awesome.
fantastic. I never thought the gym could go Zoom.
Yeah.
I thought we all had to just do it on our own.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, that's pretty good. Now, what do you think are the issues that you see in the city of Laredo that need to be dealt with?
Well, I think the water boils for one.
Yes.
That's something that's just continuously, happening on and on and on. And then right now, if you've kept up with the news, I mean, it's already coming out in the newspapers and whatnot that I think they put in like 14 requests to, get funding for the water and whatnot, and it's just denied. And so that just to me is like a blow. And then of course, just the random stuff here and there, with what we've seen with the city managers, the administration, some of the inside issues and whatnot with some of the people that are currently working in there. And aside from that, like I mentioned, I think a lot of people just need to be heard. And I think that's one of the biggest things, me as a Marine, you have to, reach out there to your younger Marines and your subordinates, listen to what they need, and then in turn come back, take it, and then make something better of that, And
But do you think that the city is not listening?
I mean,
Or is it
it's
just they're making bad decisions?
I think it's just a lack of, the correct decisions because, it's speaking for itself. How many managers have not gone through, right,
Right.
in the last couple of years? And so just for them to come in and then leave, it's just, something's happening in there.
Something's not right.
Something's not right,
Stability
correct.
is just not normal for a city of
Correct.
$800 million budgets when you have city managers coming and going. That's not normal.
Correct.
That's not normal. Well, Gunny, I want to thank you for being here. Where can they find you, by the way?
Well, I am there at on Kalidi Heights Plaza on Del Mar, 3910 East Del Mar, Suite 306. If you guys ever feel like trying out a workout, just checking it out,
Yeah, well, what
whatnot.
about they have issues with the city?
Oh, the city. Well, you can always reach out to me on Facebook. I'm
Okay, you're
on
on
social
Facebook.
media. Yes, I'm there all the time. And the reason for that is because almost 95 to 98% of my business comes through Facebook.
Right.
And
Okay.
so I've been able to leverage that really well.
I think you have a very active Facebook page. I noticed
Correct.
that. And I think that's something that I noticed that our community, the younger people understand Facebook. The older people, we just don't quite get it, but they need to get it because things are moving towards social media. That's the way it is. But I want to thank you again, Gunny, for being here. You can give him a call on Facebook if you want to, or you can reach him at his business. He'll be there to answer any questions you have concerning the city. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in September again.
Yes,
Okay? Whenever
sounds
we get a
good.
chance. Thank you so
sir.
much.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Today we have Maxine Rebeles.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. She's actually a council, city council district number 1 candidate. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, thank you for making it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I've never met you before, but I've heard about you through another friend of mine who told me that you're actually a veteran.
Yes.
Yeah, well, talk to us a little bit about it.
I served in the Navy for about 6 years. My story's similar to a whole bunch of other people that joined the military. We didn't have money for college, so it was really our only choice. And when I joined, it was right when 9/11 had just happened. So I was part of the war on terror and stuff like
Oh
that.
my goodness. Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Well, at least in terms of the employment or, the
I got to
experience?
see a lot of places. I got to see different cultures, different communities. It was really good in that aspect. But then there's the other aspect of, growing up, not speaking out, not questioning authority.
Where are you from originally?
Me, I'm from Chicago.
You're in Chicago. Then
Yeah.
you moved to Laredo.
Yeah, my mom took us in the middle of the night with the clothes we had on our back to get away from our abusive father. And
Right.
she came to Laredo, and we stayed with our grandparents ever since.
Awesome. Well, then obviously you know South Laredo.
Yeah,
And in fact, you're, like I said, you said District
District 1.
District 1. What area is that part of?
It's around Lomas del Sur. It's depending, like if you're going towards the
Right.
south, it'll be on the left side of 83, and then District 2 is on the other side.
So it would be somewhere around Highway 83, not the HEB area, but the opposite end.
Yeah,
And
it's
now
like
the
right
way
when you get to
what?
Cigarroa, like that's already District 2.
Okay, that's a different.
And that's why
area.
it's kind of confusing because some of the precincts, they cut the precincts.
Right.
So like it's kind of confusing.
Well, I think we'll be talking in the future because we're gonna have to get a map here. We have to figure out exactly
Because
where
even
we.
some of the ones like we look online, some of them are updated, some of them aren't. So
Yeah.
you see signs everywhere.
Yes.
So it's.
Well,
it's
we're
confusing.
certainly gonna talk to the public about what those precincts are, because we want to make sure you go get a chance to go vote. If not, you can always vote early voting, and you don't have to worry about that part. Hopefully, but having said that, now you've been living in Laredo for how many years?
At least, well, I'm
Well, at least from
39 now,
39,
so
okay, well,
33 years.
okay, for many, many years.
Yes.
So you know your district very well.
Well, I grew up in District 8.
In District
So I moved to District 1 about 5 years ago, I think it was.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, what do you think are the issues there?
Lack of water is obviously number one. Some of the people that I've spoken to, they want speed bumps. They say that there's different issues with safety. Some of them have doorbell ringers, so they can see what the issues
Right.
are and stuff like that. For me, I'm a single mom. So the houses that they're building are kind of expensive for single people, so affordable housing was something else that was brought up. Stuff like that, like we need better healthcare, definitely, and that's like all districts.
Yes,
And I know a lot of people only do the talking points, but for me, it's not just talking points. Like we can't just focus on our district because it's all of Laredo, and we need to bring.
Well, let me ask you, what type of experience, if anything, in terms of community projects that you like, have you done, that you enjoy doing?
Since coming back from the military, I've been an activist. They murdered my twin brother, so I became a teacher right after that to try and help stop cycles or other families from going through what my family had went through. And seeing, after I came back from the military, how my family was still struggling, our people were still struggling. No one really cared about what was going on. The elderly really don't have an outlet. Even my mom trying to go to Gateway, there's still hoops that she has to jump through, and they just make it difficult. There's food scarcity, and no one's really talking about that. Our youth are struggling, with so much stuff. There's not a whole lot of youth programs to give them the coping skills or empathy and compassion that's lacking most of the time.
So you've been an activist for the area for some time.
Mm-hmm.
What projects do you think that, especially that you think you'll be able to accomplish within that 4-year period if you're selected?
Restoring and conserving our water is
Is
a
your number
priority.
one?
Yeah.
But it just seems to be that South Laredo, for whatever reason, and I'm sure we can find out different reasons. Well, not only South Laredo, because in the Heights area it begins. The same every time there was no water in South Laredo, the Heights area, which is where I live, didn't have water. And so when you didn't have water for a day and a half, I didn't have water for a day and a half. So I get that. If you live in the north side, you don't have that situation as much.
And when that happened, there was circulation that like the north didn't want to share water with the south and stuff like that. So like getting infrastructure and
Or the light, or when the lights went out,
yeah.
where you saw all of South Laredo with no lights, the Heights had no lights. So I decided one day to just get in my car and go to the north side, and all the lights were on. Like really, we're talking about in the middle of a winter. It was during the grid problem that we had. So I know there are special issues that many people from the south understand, and maybe some people from other areas may not understand as clearly. But obviously, you need to have passion for your district in order to be able to represent it. Do you feel though that the time is right? Is there a lot of people who feel the same way you do?
I believe so. I think Laredo is ready for change. Sometimes the same families that are in power keep families like mine out. And we have no outlet. We have no voice because it's like, what's the candidates? Who are you? Who's your mother? Who's your father? Like, you don't know me.
But that is what it is.
Yeah.
I grew up. That's the way we were hired.
Yeah.
My first job was your dad,
Yeah.
was your mom, and that's how you get hired. Whether right or wrong, obviously it's not right, but certainly that's the way it started. But having said that, now I had that question. I asked the question to another female candidate running in the same district, because we've not had any female representation in that area that I can count on. Has there been a different type of reaction being a female candidate versus a male candidate? In South Laredo, or they don't really notice?
I don't think so. I think Laredo's just tired of the same old, and like some of the mansplaining that's been happening over the years has been getting worse. So I don't know if they're just tired of the male councilman. No, I'm kidding. Like they want change. They want someone who's going to listen to them. And seeing how some of the councilmen act or portray themselves or carry themselves is unacceptable to me. Like, if you're a council person, you should be there for the people. Like, and it shouldn't be, well, my district and your district. It's for the betterment of all Laredo.
So in some issues, you believe that, obviously, like the water issue certainly affects your district, but there are other issues that affect the whole city, and you should be able to talk about the whole city, not only your district.
Yes,
Certain issues.
like for me, most of my family has some kind of disease. I have degenerative disc disease. My sisters have autoimmune diseases. Fortunately for me, I'm part of the military. I'm a veteran, so I get veteran care. I can go to San Antonio. If I can't drive to San Antonio, someone can drive me. Another veteran can. My sisters don't have that option. My little sister lost the use of her legs because she was misdiagnosed. My other sister was in the hospital. She almost died because they don't understand how scleroderma works and how it affects her body. We need specialty doctors here, and we're never going to get them if we keep going the same way.
Right. What about the crime issue, if any? Is there a problem in South Laredo concerning that issue?
I personally don't see it like around where I live, but some people on Facebook, or sometimes when I speak to them, they do have an issue with it, and that's why they invest in the doorbell ringers and stuff like that.
And the issue of school safety, even though it's not a city issue per se, but do you see that an issue that in the schools in your district? Or?
I'm a teacher. I'm a middle school teacher. I teach at Kristen Middle. And we're getting ready. We just went through all the safety briefings, and just like they tell us, you never know what's going to happen. We can prepare the best we can, but sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You never know what's going to happen. But I believe with everything that's happened, they're taking the necessary precautions to try and prevent anything from happening.
Okay. Well, it just seems that I based on my conversations with what's going on in District 1, it's going to be an animated, exciting district race. And I think that it just seems like it probably will be a runoff because they've got 4 different people. And many of them have an issue. And all of them mention the issue of water. I mean, our water is the main issue. Like I said, I don't understand why certain areas of town have issues with water and certain areas don't have it. But it is what it is. So hopefully, maybe someone from District 1 will be able to turn things around in the near future to resolve that issue. Well, thank you so much for coming out. Where can people find you?
Most of my social media is Rebeles for Laredo. I'm working on my website still, rebelesforlaredo.com.
So a voter can call you and talk to you directly if they want to.
Yes, 956-903-6666.
Okay. And what about if they want to register? Do you register them?
I
vote?
I can find someone to register them. I can't register them personally yet, but I'm going to try to get.
Oh, great. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you again in September.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back after the short break. Thank you for coming back. We do have another guest, Mr. Fernando Baldazo, who's actually running for City Council District number 6, which is the north side of town. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's correct. The district has been shortened a little bit. They have removed 1 precinct. So now the District 6 starts from McPherson East. It only has a little part of Las Brisas, Shiloh, and Del Mar North, all the way to Mount 13.
Well, that's a big area.
Big
It
area.
is a big area. How do you feel about it?
Great. Been getting.
I would imagine this was last minute because Dr. Marta Martinez decided not to run at the last minute. And de repente you had to come
Yeah, I
back.
didn't want to run against the incumbent,
Right.
because the incumbent has a bunch of advantages, and I didn't want to waste my time and people's time. So last minute, I kind of decided to run because of the track record that I have and what I've done for the city, what I've been able to accomplish as a private citizen. I've been working either one way or another for the last 30 years. About 3 decades, we started doing bike trails, just to help the community stay healthy.
Well, you did a lot to do with that. I mean, you did participate with city council to make sure that you have bike trails on the north side.
As well, yes, we've been working with city council. It all started back like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
A few of us doing bike trails. Then we brought in a state race, which was bringing in sports tourism. We were getting some funds. We were donating to several charities. And I've just been working for the community for the last 30 years, working with city council as well, either with bike trail stuff or in our monthly meetings that we have in the MPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization. And what we do,
You're part of that committee.
I'm part of that committee. We meet once a month. And what we do is, we face issues that the city is facing currently, mostly with infrastructure or traffic. And between TxDOT directors from the city, we come up with a plan of possible solutions. And we've been doing this for about 7 years.
I think that one of the issues, though, Fernando, is going to be the issue of the trucking. I mean, it just keeps growing. And you all are going to have to, I don't know what you're going to do, but it seems that you're going to have to build more roads, or you're going to have to extend or do something, because there's another 8 to 10,000 trailers coming in the next 6 to 8 years based on on their surveys of the trucking company. So that's going to be a major issue on the north side.
Yes, I've been working in the trade industry as well, about 30 years here in Laredo. And we work closely with TxDOT. As a matter of fact, Tiendas Road, I was in close contact with Omar Costilla and some of the engineers, and we were able to work to get Tiendas Road increase the load rating from 48,000 to 80,000 miles.
Wow.
So that helped a lot the community, because now some of the trucking companies moved to Tiendas Road, away from the city. What we need to do is work on a river road. Not only will decrease the traffic on Mines Road, but also it will shorten the distance. So it will be better off, less.
But that's not your
fuel.
district. That would not be your district, but you do get a part of the river. road.
Yes, it will not be on my district, but we need to work together, because people from my district, or most of us, either own companies there or work in those companies.
Exactly.
So it actually, everybody will benefit from that.
How would you handle your idea about coordinating or finding a consensus? Do you feel that you're the right person to be able to bring together the different councilmen to come up with proposals or ideas?
Yes, I think I have the right leadership. I've been leading either the cycling community. I had my own company for about 20 years. And every company that I work with, I've been the manager. So you're always negotiating and trying to work together.
Exactly.
So, and I've been doing this for 30 years here in Laredo. So most of the people either are my friends, or I worked with them in the past, or maybe we work together a deal. So, I almost know everybody.
How do you think, what is one of the biggest issues, if any, I don't know, in the north side, that you want to look at, see what you can do?
Well, again, it might not be in my district, but for example, I think the intersection on Jackman and, on Airport and Loop 20. I always see there's an accident about once or twice a week, or maybe once a week, three times a month, twice a month. So it's often. So I think that's real dangerous. And actually, I was there this morning, and you see the flowers. So I think all of us need to work on getting an overpass there. And, since I've been working with TxDOT for the last 7 years, I think the channel of communication is already there. That can be accomplished real fast. Something else that I want to bring back is twice a week trash pickup. Since they started doing it only once a week, you might have noticed there's a bunch of flies, and it's because the flies take about 5 days just
for them
to become flies. Exactly. So if we pick them up on the 4th day, then we'll get rid of 2 problems,
Well,
trash
and by the
flies.
way, there is money in the city budget, I would imagine, because from what I was told, we have a 30% rate fund balance in the city. So definitely something they should look at and see what they can do.
Exactly. There should be funds. Plus, there's no more recycling. Most people are maybe not aware of this, but it was over a few years ago. It was on the paper.
So what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with the blue trash bin. So we can just use the green one day, and the second time the blue one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So what's your plan the next couple of weeks, the next 30 days for the campaign?
Well, I'm getting more people, more volunteers, walking the streets, talking to people. I've been getting so much positive feedback from so many people that I didn't know before the campaign. I'm getting a lot of support from business owners, from neighbors, from other neighborhoods calling me. They want to volunteer, they want a sign on the front yard. I had my campaign kickoff last week, and I had close to 200 people.
Wow, that's a lot of
Yeah.
people. Especially for a small district. We're not, it's a district-wide, it's not a citywide.
It's not a citywide, exactly. It's for being a district race, having almost 200 people show up to support, and so that was wonderful.
Where can people find you if they're looking for you?
Right now, on my personal Facebook page, I'm about to do a campaign Facebook page. I'm working on my page as well, but they can look for me, Fernando Baldazo, on Facebook. They'll see my logo. They can add me. Some of my posts are public.
Right.
They can send me an inbox.
Great. Well, thank you very much for being here, Fernando. I look forward to seeing you again
Thank you,
in
Judge.
September.
We will.
And remind everyone, the election's set for November the 8th. You have to vote. Obviously, we're talking about the Del Mar area, basically.
Yeah, Del Mar North and east of McPherson.
Right.
Early voting starts on October 24th.
Thank you very much. Until next time, I'm Jesus Garza, your host. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week for another episode of the Laredo Border Chronicles.